Welcome back to CBS This Morning. We have a follow-up on a CBS News investigation from last year. It's a very disturbing issue. Child abuse suspects in this country who fled to Israel. Now, one of those suspects, his name is Gershon Kranzer, was returned to New York City just yesterday to face the charges after more than a decade in Israel. He is accused of molesting two female relatives. One of them was just 6 years old at the time. Ian Lee has investigated these cases for years, and his reporting has had a major impact. He joins us now from London with more on this story. Ian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gayle. People like Kranzer exploit a process called the law of return, whereby any Jewish person can move to Israel and automatically gain citizenship. Our investigation last year revealed how this loophole has allowed dozens of accused and convicted American pedophiles to flee there.
You know, he's 6'2", over 200.
This was our stakeout in Israel in 2019, looking for Jimmy Caro, an American wanted for sexually assaulting multiple children.
Yeah, that was him. That was definitely him. Oh, my God.
Police arrested him after 20 years on the run.
Did you assault the girl in the United States? No. Did you flee Israel because you assaulted the girl in the United States? Do you know that you're wanted by Interpol?
Yeah.
This arrest was for a rape in Israel, but our report broke the news of Caro's arrest to one of his alleged victims in America, Casey Meyer Smith. How did you feel when you saw the video of police leading him away?
Thankful, because at least I had that video to show me. I wanted to see that gotcha moment for so long, but also I was even more angry because he denied what he did to me.
Casey and her twin Katie were just 9 years old when they met Caro at their neighborhood pool in Clackamas County, Oregon.
He would make jokes and start poking fun at us, playing games with us, and then touching us and grabbing us and getting us closer. And then he sexually abused me and my sister repeatedly.
What happened next when you went to the police?
I remember we had exams as children. I remember that we also had grand jury.
Caro fled before being indicted, but no one told Casey. For years, she thought he was locked up. Case closed.
I found his name on Clackamas County's Most Wanted.
That must have been a shock to you.
Yeah, very frustrating.
Do you feel let down by the authorities?
Yeah.
Casey then began her own search, eventually tracking him to Israel.
I found him. I found his work even, and I sent it to Clackamas County.
It took another 7 years before she saw us follow Shauna Aronson and her team from the organization Jewish Community Watch track Caro down south of Tel Aviv. She immediately reached out to Shauna.
They were so grateful that there was somebody out there that had been looking for him and that actually that cared about this.
Soon after our investigation aired, Israel changed its policy, now requiring immigrating Americans to undergo FBI background checks.
This was a really important step. Not enough to close all the holes, because there are so many people that can get through, through other ways and through other means, and there's certainly other efforts that are needed, but this was a very significant step.
A significant step to stop people like Caro, who last month was sentenced to 13 years in prison in Israel for raping a child. Casey and her twin Katie now want Caro extradited to the United States to face justice for what he allegedly did to them. Now, we reached out to the district attorney in charge, who told us that they're diligently working with U.S. authorities to get Caro back, but ultimately it'll depend if Israeli authorities will hand him over, and that's not necessarily a done deal. Anthony?
All right, Ian. Do we know why he was walking with a limp?
Well, he had a medical condition, and this was actually crucial to finding out where he was going to be and able to arrest him. The Jewish Community Watch was able to learn that he was going to be at that hospital dealing with that issue, and that's when they were able to notify police.
All right, Ian Lee in London. Thank you, Ian.